Welcome to this NASA Rally Sport training video for the log sheet portion of the Neck Control web application. We're going to jump up right here to the log sheet section. In this area, you see all the stages and controls. You can have as many or as few as you desire. In this section, we have set up the various views of the log sheet. There's really one log sheet, but we can view different portions of them or the whole thing at one time, depending on what we want to see. Since we've seen the vehicle checks and the setup checks in our previous video, let's jump right here to the checks portion of this. So in this top half, we have all of the members of the train, the zero cars, the actual competitive cars, sweep cars at the bottom. And in the bottom half of the screen, we are looking at the various checks for making sure that each stage is ready. Green smiley face means that this is accomplished or that they have gotten to that spot, and red frowny face means that hasn't happened yet. So for stage 1, we can see that it's entirely complete. Not only was it set up, but everyone's gone through it. And that for the stage 1 finish, the first car has made it there, but the rest of the field hasn't quite made it there. Keeping track of what's happened is really very simple. As soon as word comes over the radio that the zero car has left the start of the stage 2, the stage 2 start, we just click here and it toggles, and that updates all the statuses on the executive summaries. If we hover over any particular green spot, we'll get a pop-up that tells us, okay, for 000, they finished just 31 seconds ago at 23:11 p.m. So that'll tell us the time and in relative time how long ago that was. And this, very easily lets us do that. For navigation, we can use these two green arrows to move back and forth. We can, with a click, move forward into the rally and move backwards closer to the start. And depending on what we've got for screen size, we can show more or fewer controls. So we can condense this if we're perhaps working on a tablet or a phone, or as wide as your screen gets. You can put in more and more data. So let's take another view of another look at another piece of this view. Let's just take a look at the notes. So each stage, each piece gets its own section for notes, and it's pretty easy to just add one. Just type in something that you want to keep. And there we've got a note that is kept around and can be seen in other places. Each one of these has a little clear button. As soon as that issue is handled, click the clear and that note goes away. It's still archived, you can view it, but it won't be up on your list of things that you need to accomplish. The navigation is still the same. We can use the green arrows to move through different pieces, and we can show fewer or more stages. Now let's take a look at the actual number tracking. So what we want to see here is just the tracking numbers. In this demo data that we've got set up, we just have 10 cars in this rally. So if we jump back here to the start of the rally and assume this is the TC0, here are the 10 cars that we have, and this is the stage 1 start, and we have sent off some of these vehicles. We already have some warnings popping up. These are the numbers that we've logged to the finish. If we just put our mouse here, it says this number hasn't made it to the finish, and we can see that this number 4, is not in our finish list here. So who knows, maybe they were just doing had a flat tire, and let's just imagine that they happen to be the next number called in on the radio. Now we can see that as number 4 has shown up at the finish, the warning next to him at here has disappeared. It makes sense that we have warnings next to these 4 cars. They've left the start, that's fine. They haven't showed up at the finish. Okay, that makes sense. If we need to delete something that we just had by accident, we can just click right there, delete that number. Naturally, the warning it disappears. And let's say actually that we needed to insert a little piece in between. Perhaps we had missed a sequence of cars, let's say between the 7 and 8, 14 and 24 came in. So if we needed to insert, we can just click right here in between these two, and that'll give us, we can do 14, 24, insert those numbers. And there they are. They've been inserted in the middle of that sequence. So let's get this lined up so we're actually looking at two complete stages. So here's all of stage 1 and stage 1 finish, and stage 2 and stage 2 finish. We have a couple other automatic warnings that will show up. Let's say that we had number 3 called in again. We would have a warning here, multiple entries of this race number. So this is letting us know that somehow this has managed to show up twice. That's probably not so good. Another thing can happen is, and this is tied in with the data from registration, let's have some other unusual number show up. Here's a different warning. This race number is not on the entrant list. So we have a variety of checks that are happening automatically to make sure that we're getting the right data and paying attention to some of these things that can be a sea of numbers if you're just looking at them on paper. Just like the other areas, we can show more stages or fewer stages if we want. It depends on how much of a display you have. You could conceivably even have multiple monitors or multiple laptops, each showing different stages, and not move them back and forth with the navigation. And that's sort of just up to the workflow that you prefer and what sort of equipment you have handy. We can also look at a view that integrates all of these things into one piece. And so here I have the notes at the top, and then I have the course cars underneath, the checks below that, and then all the numbers below that. And these 4 sections, notes, the train, the checks, and the number, these are all configurable. You can define them in any combination that you want. You might want to have just these 2 pieces together, or you might want to have one laptop that has this piece and a separate laptop that is running just numbers, or even 2 different people that are doing those. So you can combine these and define them as you want. And just to finish up, we can take a look at what that looks like. It's here under the Edit Log Sheet Views. So here we just have the name of whatever view we want to call it. And for each of the sections of that page, we can define what do we want to see there. So we can leave most of it blank, notes only, or have something that has everything in any particular sequence that we want. So that is the log sheets for the NetControl app. Thanks for watching this NASA Rally Sport training video.